Afternoon, it's Tuesday the 3rd of December, it is 12:40 p.m. We've been in the shop for a little while. I've had a few jobs already. I think I've had about 5 or 6 sharpenings already. So this set of steels here, basically the toe and the heel was high in comparison to this one, and it was a slightly different shape, so I've had to change the shape of both of the steels and match them up so that the two of them are perfectly the same shape. That's today's first job. The second job that we've got today is we've got to put an extension on a neck guard. It's a 17-inch collar and it's not big enough. This part of the Velcro is obviously starting to get really worn, and this part of the Velcro is pretty worn as well. It's quite an old neck guard, but it's still certified, so what we're going to have to do with that one is make that one slightly bigger. We've got another job that we've got in this one. We have got a sharpening that's going to have to take place in this one. I'm going to have to take the laces out of this as well, and the customer in question is a bit of a princess when it comes to his tongues, and he's decided that the tongues are snapped or broken in the inside because he likes to rock the flop, and he's looking for a different set of tongues. Now the problem that we have with that at the moment is we have a couple of sets of tongues that are available. One of the sets of tongues that we have from another set of skates is a set of the Vapor Hyperlights. The problem that we have with these is I'm going to have to put them back in the oven and try and get them to kind of take their kind of normal shape. They're slightly twisted. They kind of twist, that's obviously the right one, and you can see this one is the left one. The left one's a wee bit more twisted than the right one is. We have another set of tongues if you hold on just 2 wee seconds. So sorry I was so rudely interrupted there. I was trying to get through the mountains of crap that's under my desk for repairs and stuff like that. So here are his options for the tongues. So as we can see, we have a set of true tongues that we've got there. I think they're going to be too small because he wants to be able to rock the flop as much as possible. Problem that we've got with these is like I say, they're too small. They are probably the ideal shape for him for being able to rock the flop, but at the same point they're not going to be big enough. The Vapor Hyperlight ones, they're going to have to be hit up and shaped back to normal, and then we have a set of the Nash Sniper tongues. The problem with the Nash Sniper tongues is they are very, very, very soft, so he's already complaining about lace bite in the tongues that he's got, and these tongues are pretty thick. So these ones here are not thick enough, and realistically they would obviously have a cracking flop in them, but they would provide not that much protection. So one of the things that we might have to look at doing is reinforce these and beef them up a little bit. The only way that we're going to be able to do that is possibly by putting them in the inside of them. Now if you wonder how that was going to happen, what we'd have to do is we would have to take away all the stitching round about that area. Then we would have to take this down to the bare minimum of the plastic and then put the plastic in there and then try and hope that it would work. Now one of these ones we have actually tried to get the foams ourselves, and we were trying to see if we could get the felt, so we could make our own tongues and get leather to make our own tongues, because it's something that a lot of players around about the kind of Scotland area are looking for, is a slightly thicker, more beefed up tongue, or they're looking for something that provide a wee bit more protection. A lot of the tongues and a lot of the skates are absolutely destroyed. I don't know if that's just because of the way that a lot of people skate over here or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff that we would like to be able to offer, which we just can't at the moment. Now, we can obviously order in different tongues from different suppliers. Majority of the time it's going to be a true tongue or it's going to be a CCM XS tongue. Now, trying to modify them to put them into a different pair of skates is not necessarily the worst. We've had a few pair of our skates in the last little while where we've actually modified the toe box to be exactly the same as the XS from the CCM, which has been quite good. So it's obviously something that we offer. If they've got the tongues there, or if we can source them, we can obviously modify the skate. It just takes a little bit of adrenaline to be able to get them down to the right size. But with this one, I'm going to make a decision what we're going to do tongues wise. I'd like to maybe even consider putting that inside of that one. It's a little bit more beefed up. The problem is it's just not going to look right, and it's going to be way too thick. We need some sort of kind of plastic or carbon that we can put in the inside of this one just to make it a little bit thicker. But anyway, I'm going to go on with some sharpenings because customers are now coming in the door. So I'm going to get a quick update with Pam, and then we'll go on with the tongues and stuff like that. So Pamela.
Sammy?
Stephen.
Yes.
What's your quick update? Well, let everybody know what you've been doing so far since you've been in.
There was a whole load of web orders over the weekend, so printing them off, organising them into my orders, confirming all my orders, moving forward, finding out where my European stuff's up to, because we're kind of getting a wee bit anxious for time now because stuff needs to be in for Christmas. So we've got some stuff on back order, need to get that checked up, stuff I can't get back to the customers, see if we can work out an alternative. Yeah, I've got lots of, I've been rattling the keyboard for a wee while. Very boring shit.
Yep, well, that's what Pamela's got to do, and I've made the decision. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these parts off, this part here off of the skate, which, if you're wondering what it is, it's the bayonet fittings for the CCM XS tongues, and I'm going to fit them onto these. I've done this before. It's relatively straightforward. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass because you've got to do so much stitching, but I'm going to cut them off, get them on to here, transfer them over, and I'll maybe do a wee bit of time lapse, but I'll maybe just come back to you in a little while and show you what is actually happening. I'll time lapse once I've actually got this part off. So don't mind Pamela if she's randomly spouting off random numbers and stuff like that while I'm trying to record. That's just her way of trying to cope with all the orders. So I'm in the process here of taking the wee plastic bits off. So the plastic bits are taken off. So again, very difficult to do with one hand. So that's the plan. Sew that part on here. See if it will stay. Nope. Sew that part on there, and then sew that part over the top of it, and then we'll get back onto it. I'll set up for a time lapse.
We're driving downtown, full pushed on the pedal. Move to songs we play together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day. Downtown, full pushed on the pedal. Move to songs we play together.
So I had a couple of customers in, so I had to pause the time lapse because I was doing too many other things at the same time as obviously doing these skates. So what I will show you is, there you go, you have a Hyperlite 2 tongue in the skate. It's a pair of 9380 skates with the Hyperlite tongue, already sewn in, already in place. Looks like quite a good modification, if I'm honest. We'll see how the customer likes this one. It's obviously going to be a slightly thinner tongue than what he's used to, but we'll see how it goes. I put these back in the oven to try and get them to kind of take a little bit more of a kind of neutral shape. They were very, very twisted from the previous owner, so they actually look as if they've came back to a kind of reasonably good shape. So what I'm going to do now is get on with the other one, get that sorted, cut this part off here, this part here, and then sew it back onto this one, and then that'll be us ready to go. So, time lapse number 2.
Pushed on the pedal, move to songs we play together. Feel like we're on holiday. I got a feeling it's a good day.
So that's us finished with that repair or that modification. The tongues are now sorted and they're now in the skate. As we've seen through the time lapse, we've sewn this onto the actual Hyperlite tongue itself, and it's now easily removed if need be, and it can be changed back over again if it has to be. What I'm going to do is I'll maybe try and see if I can get some plastic for this one and try and redo the tongue in some way, shape or form along here, because obviously it would help if I didn't drop it. This whole part here has started to collapse, so if I can find some nice plastic, I'll try and make something in there to make it a little bit stiffer. Obviously the kind of old school felt tongues, a lot of players like the old school felt tongues instead of the new style tongues. The new style tongues, in my opinion, are just a bit soft. With regards to the true tongue, that tongue's actually not too bad. What I actually did find it was a problem was this part here was cutting my feet. So anyway, let's move on. So back at Stephen's sweatshop again, we're in the process of adding a wee bit extra onto the neck guard. It's a wee bit of a stretchy material. See if I can get this here. See, there we go. Oh no, we can't do it one-handed. Pamela, she's not helping as usual. She's too busy kidding on. There we go, there's the stretchy material. That's to add on just a wee bit of extra stretch to it, due to the fact that the neck guard is slightly too small. So there's been an extra 2 inches added on to this part here, and then I'm going to add on the Velcro onto the other side of that and then sew that in so that they can then obviously get it to fit. So it's been a while since I've had a chat to you like this. Obviously Pamela's kind of busy, or she's kidding on, she's busy. I'm kind of at my wit's end today. There's not really that much to do. Everything that had to be done has been done. The tongue replacements have been done. There's the profile on that set of steels has been done. Pamela making hunters of noise while I'm recording has been done. What else? A couple of orders that are having to get taken to the ice rink tonight for my team. A couple of boys.
McEwen.
He got a stick and his steels obviously had to get fixed, and he's got new wax laces as well, and yeah, and the neck guard replacement or repair on that for the extension, that's been done also. So
that's for Aiden.
Yeah, it's for Aiden. Other than that, it's pretty quiet today. It's usually happens if kind of week before, the first week of December is absolutely dead, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Instead of people being prepared and then come in at the beginning of December, they come in at like mid-December and go, I need this in 3 days' time. And you go, no, it's just not going to happen.
Yep.
No.
So, like I say, there's not really that much for me to kind of talk about, other than if Pam's got something that she wants to get off her chest.
No, I feel not talking related.
Absolutely riveting content as usual, Pamela.
I know, it's so exciting these days.
I know.
Discussing the fact whether I should have my hair chopped or not.
I think it's time Pamela had a makeover with regards to her hair.
I think it's time I just made a bit more of an effort.
That would work as well. That would work as well.
That takes effort and energy, and I don't always have it.
Seeing as I made the effort and had to grow my hair for the wedding, I actually was asked.
You didn't have to grow your hair for the wedding. You chose to.
No, I was told by my barber that I had to grow my hair for the wedding.
And Tracy said.
Yeah, Tracy told me. So anyway, right, well, there's really nothing else to kind of talk about today, so I'll try and tie in you guys later on if something exciting happens. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. I know.
So exciting. Saturday after school rush could start now and moved.
Yeah, we might
run through the door.
We might get some things in, but failing that, I'll catch you tomorrow. So this one's a bit of a strange one. We had a message from a guy that we know quite well, who is up in Inverness, and he's got a teammate who has a broken toe cap. The toe cap is coming off the skate, just pretty much like the CCM one in the last vlog. The only thing is the toe cap is completely and utterly broken. There's nothing to sew back on. When I say there's nothing to sew back on, when you can see this part here, right here, that's the part that you're going to need to be able to sew back on. Now that part is sheared off the skate completely, which is a kind of strange one. I've seen it happen quite a lot. Bowers tend to do it a lot more than everything else, unfortunately. So I actually had a spare toe cap, and I actually did a little bit of work on it just to see if I could get it to be solid enough to go into a skate. Now the reason why I have this skate in the first place was because the player in question actually had the toe cap come off in that area here, and it actually cracked along the bottom. I'm just trying to see if I can get a finger up there. There we go, round about that area. So what I've actually did with the toe cap, believe it or not, is I've used ballistic nylon and epoxy to try and see if I can recreate the bottom part of the toe box. So it's in process at the moment to see if it's going to work. It feels relatively quite solid. The only thing is it's going to have another couple of layers of epoxy put onto it just to make sure that it's solid enough to be able to go back into a skate. I think it's obviously going to be something that I'll take pride in if it gets to actually work. But if it doesn't work, well, at least we gave it a try. Worst case scenario is the customer's going to have to buy another pair of skates. But at the moment, he's only got one pair of skates, and he's got the toe box basically hanging off at the moment. So hopefully we'll be able to epoxy that toe box into another skate, and we'll be able to get it fitted. The funny thing is obviously the toe box, the donor toe box, is coming off a Vapor skate, an old 1X skate, and the skate it's going into, or meant to be going into, is a Supreme. So I need to obviously see if it's going to be the right style of shape. It might be an old Supreme, so it might actually work. So because it's the old style toe box, the big kind of quite cumbersome one, it's quite high in the inside, whereas the new ones are kind of quite low and they're anatomical. So hopefully I'm going to come back to that one tomorrow and see how the epoxy held up. Maybe try and see if I can put another layer of epoxy on it tomorrow, and then see where we go from there. But I'll keep you up to date with that one if it actually comes to fruition. Failing that, back in tomorrow night. See you then. Good evening, it is 5:37, it is Wednesday. It is the 4th of December and I've done a couple of sharpenings so far. Pamela's busy dealing with orders as always. I thought I'd come back to the whole toe cap situation here. Now last night I had spoke to you guys and I had said to you that basically what I had done was the toe cap that I was taking off the donor skate was slightly damaged, so I had rebuilt the bottom of the toe cap using ballistic nylon and epoxy. So today I've came in, I've run it through the grinder and basically cleaned it up a little bit. I'm going to do another coating of epoxy over the bottom of it. It is absolutely soaking hard, it's solid. The inside is actually quite good as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy the inside and the outside just to make sure it's nice and stiff so we can use it for this skate if it actually comes to fruition. The job, I mean, that is. If the guy from Inverness sends me the skate down, I can obviously get that toe cap into the skate and then back up to him, hopefully within a couple of hours, turn over. So if he gets it down to me, if he sends it down via post, I can obviously get it turned over and back in the post the same day, hopefully. If not, it'll be maybe the second day. But anyway, that's another job that we've got on the cards. I've got these custom tools in just for a sharpening. That's Jamie from my team. That was a boy that I was looking for the spare pair of skates for, just in case we managed to find him a pair of skates, but by the time that we managed to find him a pair, he'd already got his ones back. We've got another boy who sent me in another set of steels from my team. Other than that, it's quite quiet tonight so far. It just seems to be that the first week in December is always relatively quite quiet, and it's not necessarily the greatest, especially when I'm looking for stuff to do. So pop update, they are nice and sleepy. They were in Pamela's other work today meeting everyone, so apparently everybody loves them.
Yeah, they love them. They went up to the management suite. The management suite, it sounds like really important, it's really not. It's the top half of the old house that we work on, and all my colleagues they disappeared up there for about 20 minutes, and I'm stood down the stairs with the kids because we don't trust the kids anywhere on their own. Like, I think they've run away with the dogs. So yes, they have won everybody over. Apparently I have to go back in when Irene's in so that she can meet them because she wasn't in today. So do you want to tell them what we're actually thinking about doing? We're setting up a new website and it's going to be called what? Pups with faces of shit.
2 pups, 1 cup. That was what it was going to be called.
2 pups, 1 cup, yes. So Lily had to have another bath this morning. So Hector's had a bit of a dicky tummy. I think it's because the daft idiot keeps eating the leftovers of the puppy food, even though we're trying to lift it away from him. He's a sneaky bugger when it comes to food. Aside of that, or it's a slightly different training treats. He's obviously thinks he needs to be trained, so he gets an extra treat. Something's upset his tummy, and it's given him. It was a wee bit sick for a couple of days. Now he's got the runs, tail end of the run. It was a bit sloppy this morning. It was better than it had been, but needless to say, Lily was like, "Oh, what's that?" And yes, she had to get dumped in the sink this morning because she smelled of shit. Shite
conversation as usual.
So she stunk the house out.
What's on the plans for tonight then?
I want to try and put through a warrior order. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inquiry emails to reply to. I'll do that first, and then I was just looking for a stick for our friend Sergey to make sure it's in stock because he's wanting another one of the Warrior M3 goalie sticks, the ritual ones, because he really liked it, so he wants another one. And yeah, I've had wee bits and pieces of messages privately to my through Messenger or through WhatsApp, people asking for stuff, and I forgot to write them down yesterday because obviously you've got about 5 million channels to check. So I want to compile them into the order book so I don't forget, so then I can check everything for everybody that's asked for stuff, because otherwise I lose track. There's so much to check that I lose what people have asked me, and then it gets a week later and I go, oh shit, I've not done it because I forgot. So I'm just checking back through my WhatsApp messages, my Messenger messages, anything that's came from you, anything that's came from other people, pull it all together, try and sort it all out, try and get it so that my orders are all ready to go, and then fire them all off tonight so that we can hopefully try and get something over the weekend. Start moving forward with it all.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what Pam's up to. I'm going to go and see if there's something else I can do. I'll come back to you in a wee while. Right, so it's 4 minutes past 8 and the shop is now closed, and I'm going to quickly just show you what I got in tonight, but I'll speak to Pamela first and then I'll show you. I'll keep you on the hook for this one. But, so how was tonight then?
I was quite busy. We had a
Quite
lot
a
of
few
visitors.
visitors.
A lot of visitors. We had Ben with his daddy. We had Michelle. Obviously, she used to work here. She's one half of Ruth and Michelle.
She didn't want to be on the camera.
Yeah, she didn't want to be on the camera, but she's. I miss Michelle. We had Ben. We had the guy up that he got his heat mould and sharpening. I think who else was on? Loads were in. So it was quite a bustling thoroughfare. And then we had the electricity outage because if we have the 3 heaters on, the kettle went on, the sharpening machine was on, and the oven went on, and woofed, off the electricity went. We've got to turn everything off, so that's why the telly was off, the internet went down, blah blah blah.
Right, so that's Pamela's update. My update is, you have seen these gloves before. So the resident pest that plays with the Pirates, Mr. Ben Walker, has decided to bring in his gloves that he had done with the wee customisation work on them before, right? So you would have remembered them being the gloves that were, what are these? Let me just double check what kind of gloves they are. They're a pair of 2S Pros, right? So a 2S Pro glove, and what happened was originally he wanted thicker cuffs, red cuffs put on them. So we took off his black cuffs, which are here, and we put on red cuffs from a donor pair of gloves. Now, Ben's back again with another issue. He has decided that he's got a new pair of gloves, he's got a new pair of hyperlights, but he doesn't want to have the hyperlights all black because it would be too much money to go for full customs in them. So he's decided that what he wanted to do was, now this is the interesting part, I'm finding quite interesting. Anyway, so the red part of the cuff that we took off the Nexus glove, padding was a lot thicker. As you can see, this is the padding. Now that had to be trimmed down to be able to fit it on to the 2S Pro glove. Now what Ben has come up with the ingenious idea of doing this time is, we have taken the cuff off of the Hyperlight gloves, and what we've done is we've fitted the red cuff with the padding from the Hyperlight glove. So it's the cuff, the outer skin of a different glove. What we've did is we've put the padding in there, and I've sewn it into place just in here so it actually takes the shape of the glove, or the proper shape of the padding. I'm having to do this one-handed because my camera woman is rubbish and she's too busy typing. There you go, hold that, thank you, cheers. So, you blame Ben for this, by the way.
Well,
so what he wanted me to do was basically, if you can see here, Pamela, just hold it a bit further back so they can see. You're rubbish at this camera, woman thing.
you're also not got the glove in.
Right, so you're the one that can actually see, so do you think you could do it properly? Thank you. So anyway, as you can see here, the part that's been sewn into place here is only to hold this outer shell in the right position. So that has to be in that position there, and now it has to be sewn in. This part of the glove here, or the cuff, has to be sewn onto the back of the hand there, and then the cuff has to be sewn in on this part here to hold it down, and round at this part here. So this is where it gets interesting. Like I've said, the padding in the inside of this now is Hyperlight 1 padding with a Nexus outer shell. So what we're basically doing is we're making another hybrid glove. So the hybrid glove has to be put together, and it has to be all sewn together, and it has to be done before the weekend because Ben has time limits, because he's sending it to, yes, he's sending it to somewhere else to get shop blockers put on the back of them because he's got wee fragile hands. That's the first one that's been done. The second one, as we can see, I've started to do that, but if we pull that down a little bit here, you'll see that the actual shape of the foam is slightly different. Again, we have to sew this in place to be able to get the shape of the foam because this is actually slightly bigger. The main problem we've had with this is, because we were in a Nexus 15 glove, this was actually about an inch longer in either side, so now we've lost a little bit of the material. So the other part of the material is we're now having to try and stretch this to make it fit, to sew it back into position, to sew it onto the glove. Now that's glove set 1. Glove set 2, the 2F Pros, we are now putting the original cuffs back onto these, and they're going to go back on no problem because they come off no problem. It's literally just a bead of stitching on this part here, a little bit of stitching on the back of the cuff here, and then another part that we're going to basically sew onto here, and these all need to be done for the weekend, which means, by the looks of it, thank you very much Pamela, by the looks of it I'm probably going to have to come in tomorrow just to finish these off, because it is now 8:10 and I don't really have that much time left tonight to be able to do them. So he has to have them done for Friday, for a pick up for Friday, because they'll have one of the pairs, this pair here, the Hyperlights, are going to have to go elsewhere to get the shock blocker put on them. We're going to try and see if we can get some of this done. We'll see if I've got a wee bit of time tonight and maybe try and get one pair at least out of the road. It shouldn't hopefully take that long. It should only maybe take half an hour at the most, and then I can get on about my way, and then I can come in tomorrow, finish them off, because I'm not 100% sure how Friday's going to be, if Friday's going to be one of these busy days or not. We're hoping that it's going to be a really, really busy day for us, whether it's sharpenings or customers or just people visiting. Because see, when we're in here on our own, Pamela doesn't talk to me. She just doesn't talk to me at all. She just sits and looks at a computer and clicks buttons the whole day. I think she just does that just because she doesn't like me that much, but hey, she did marry me. I'll get on with some of this work, might time lapse it, might not time lapse it, just depends obviously how much time I actually have tonight, but we'll get on with it and I'll speak to you soon. So while Pamela was still frantically bashing the keyboard, I decided that I was going to kind of set about these gloves, so there is the first one done. It looks pretty sweet. So as I say, it's been speedy stitched in and stitched in just here at this part here, and it's been folded over and sewn in this part here. Glove actually looks as if it's been made, because the way that we've decided to do, or the way that I've decided to do the padding, by obviously changing the padding over to the actual padding that comes with the glove. Believe it or not, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, the same kind of foam that's in this is the same kind of yoga mat foam that I was using for, say for example, the True Skates that we were looking at. So it's very, very similar foams that's used throughout the hockey. So if you've ever heard me ever saying that I needed yoga mats, well, I don't need any more. I think I've been given about 40 yoga mats in the last little while, so ranging in all the different densities. So I use them for certain things, certain repairs as well, but haven't obviously showed you that yet. This has been repairs that I've been doing for years and years and years. But anyway, that's one of the gloves finished. I'm going to go on and do the other one, and then I'm going to get the other two done. I might actually be able to get them done in record time, and I might not actually have to come in tomorrow, because obviously Thursday's a day off. This is the day, Thursday's a day where we kind of sit doing nothing. You know how, like, obviously if we've got a day off we do absolutely nothing to do with the shop. Okay. I've got a lot of editing to do tomorrow, so that's usually a day where I work from home and I do the editing, so the more editing I can get done tomorrow the better, because it means I've got a video for you guys on Friday, which you're probably watching on today. But anyway, Pamela, would you like to talk about your customer that you had, or this is a cracker? See if Pamela actually wants to talk about it or not.
Probably going to upset the customer, and we'll probably get even more negative feedback, because apparently we're not allowed to complain about anything. Customer processed an order on the 2nd, to be Monday. It wasn't Sunday at all, it was Monday. Order processed on the Monday. First day we're in is the Tuesday. I picked them all up on the Tuesday, printed them all off, sorted all my orders out, spent 4.5 hours yesterday doing that, and then ran out of time to update the customers on products we didn't have, that weren't available or having to be ordered from suppliers. So I was going to take it home, but then obviously Tuesday nights are busy because we picked the kids up late, they've got their dinner to have, and before we knew it, it was 10:25 and I'd crashed out on the couch. She then emailed me last night at 10:25 basically saying, where is my order? I didn't pick it up because I had fell asleep, and then I was up at 6 o'clock this morning, I was kids out to school, up to work, worked until 2:30, picked the kids up from school, came home, picked the dogs up, went to my mum's, dropped off the kids, came in here 5 to 5 to our queue. We had Laurie, we had everybody else in, so it's been boom, 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 boom. Shut the shutter at 8 o'clock, pick up all my emails that I had missed today, like we said, with lots of visitors.
What time is it just now?
It is 20 to 9. I'm still not home yet. I still haven't finished the orders that I sat down to do, because I had to write an email reply to the customer who sent another email to basically say, where is my order, after 2 days. We are not a big store, we've never been a big store. We specifically wrote an entire delivery tab on our website that specifically explains how we structure things. I am fed up apologising to people. I want to be bigger, I want the store to be bigger, I want us to do better, but we're never going to do better if you keep moving the goalposts on us. It's not her, it's just the world we live in right now. It's not the customer, and I know that she's just stressed out. Her daughter probably wants this, and you know, or they want this for Christmas, and Christmas is coming up. But see, since COVID, people do not know how to be people, and because money is so tight with everybody, it's getting harder and harder and harder. I'm sitting here at 20 to 9, my children are at my mum's. I haven't sat down for any length of time all week to do anything with my children. I can't get their homework done because we're too busy. They're getting into trouble at school for not getting their homework done, and all my time and effort is spent trying to appease everybody that walks through that door.